Okay, so we're going to take a look at using stacking for object removal. Now, here's a good example. These are several images of a street scene, and in every single image there are different obstructions or moving elements, if you like. No one image is completely empty. So what we can do is go into File, New Stack, click Add, and these are the TIFFs that we have open. We simply shift-click to select them all. They were shot handheld, so we'll choose to automatically align them using perspective. You can use scale, rotate and translate as a more traditional way of aligning the images, but perspective is more powerful. Then we'll click OK. OK, and as we can see, straight away, using the median stacking mode, we have completely emptied this street. And the reason this works is because there are different elements in every single shot. And by producing an average of the overall scene, none of these elements are actually included because they're not consistent from image to image. So we can also experiment with the stacking mode that we're using. Mean will produce, if we zoom in, some sort of faint trails of the moving elements. More interesting for this scene, perhaps, would be using minimum, which, as we can see, can sometimes produce quite a humorous result, and the results of other stacking modes will vary accordingly. So we'll put it back to median. And the way that we can completely eradicate all the moving objects is to make sure that between each image we have all of the background information. So what that means, for example, if we just uncheck all of these layers for now, is take this scene. We then want to ensure that each image we add into the stack contains background information in these areas. So, for example, if I uncheck that frame for a minute and check this frame, we'll see that the couple have moved from here, and we now have this area as background information. So if we go back to the first frame and we then check this frame, we'll see them disappear. Not entirely, quite, as we can still see the faint outline of their head, but between each subsequent image we will have enough information to cover the entire background of the scene. One more example then. We've got a nighttime scene here, and as we can see, there are no pedestrians around. This is because, once again, we've stacked a series of images together. So for a second, if I just go ahead and uncheck all of these stacked images, this is a good example of achieving not just object removal, but noise reduction as well. Being a nighttime scene, a higher ISO had to be used, therefore introducing more digital noise into the picture, as we can see as we pan around. Now this will only be exacerbated as we add various adjustments to alter the image tonally. So, once again, we can bring all these image stacks back in, and then we can go ahead, add our adjustments. Finish off with a high-pass filter to sharpen the overall image. And so once again we've emptied a scene of its pedestrians. If we gradually uncheck each stack, we can see that within each individual image we have various moving pedestrians, and also by just having one image we can see all the noise that we've introduced as a result of using that high ISO. So we can simply add all the images back in, and not only have we removed our troublesome pedestrians, but we've also significantly cleaned the image up. So there's a quick primer on using stacks for object removal. To achieve all the individual images that make up the stack, all you really need is a steady hand. You can shoot handheld, and as long as the results from frame to frame are consistent and also sharp enough, the auto-align can do its work and produce an aligned stack. Next time you're on holiday and you want to get a shot of an iconic landmark, but there are tourists everywhere, all you need is a bit of patience. So stand, snap the same composition several times, leaving enough time between each shot you take for the moving elements to alter dramatically. That way you can stack them together in post-production and average out all those pesky tourists. If you have any questions or queries, please do ask on the official Affinity forums. Thank you for watching.